What's going on, you guys? Kintzugi here, and after playing Avowed for the very first time, I am here to share with you the answer to one simple question. Is it fun? Avowed was developed by Obsidian Entertainment, well known for their Pillars of Eternity series, a CRPG set in the world of EORA, the same world Avowed takes place in, and boy howdy does it show. Upon being introduced to this world, it was clear to me the familiarity the devs had with this world through their portrayal of EORA's stunning environments and details, which has led to a product that feels confident and intentional. The art style of this game screams storybook fantasy. It contrasts bright colors and the beauty of nature alongside the darkness of plague-infested lands and NPCs, a plague known as the Dream Scourge. Starting in character creation, it is pretty clear that the game features a unique visual identity through customizing your player character with variations of godlike features, which come in the form of vibrant organic growths on the head. The godlike features represent the protagonist as being touched by a god at birth, but which god we have been touched by is still unknown. This is a competent character creator, and it concludes with very traditional RPG choices, attribute point allocation, and your background, also known as origin story. I found the background choices to be diverse and intriguing for setting up your roleplay. There are 5 choices: Arcane Scholar, Court Augur, Noble Scion, Vanguard Scout, and War Hero. I personally chose the Court Augur background, which can briefly be described as going from back alley fortune teller to a mystic. Court Augurs wield power from the shadows with a dash of influence and a pinch of deception. And going back to the visuals of the game, the lighting and reflections are taken up a notch through ray tracing, and the world is detailed and furthers the aforementioned storybook fantasy visuals. There has been little diversity of enemies in the early going though, but the NPCs so far have looked great. As for performance, I have personally been able to play the game on max settings on PC, and anecdotally have had no performance issues. Some of the movement feels weird at first, but I have learned this could be an Unreal Engine 5 reality. Nevertheless, I have yet to personally experience any game-breaking bugs, crashes, or annoyances. But enough about visuals. Let's talk about the good stuff, the gameplay. Beginning with combat, Avowed has long been pitched as an Elder Scrolls-inspired game, more specifically, one that is similar to Skyrim. Now, I want to give this game the respect of being viewed without the comparison of a juggernaut game like Skyrim, but I will say, the combat is where I see the comparison make the most sense. Combat feels like Elder Scrolls games in the sense that it's an action combat with the ability to diversify your weapon and ability choices. With a magic grimoire in one hand and a blunderbuss in the other, character builds in this game aren't complicated, just diverse and fun. I actually find the movement, especially in the third-person view, to feel so much like the Elder Scrolls Online. I would also recommend exploring the world in a third-person view to better admire it, but resort to the first-person view for a better combat experience. It is clear to me Obsidian is focused on creating a fun combat experience that provides players with choice without overwhelming them with tedious mechanics. For example, the skill trees in this game are straightforward. You have fighter, ranger, wizard, and godlike trees where you can freely make choices to customize your build however you'd like, because there are no classes to limit yourself with. Combat in Avowed also feels loose. It feels free. It feels a little arcade-like in a way, but more importantly, it is simply fun. There was something so gratifying the first time I snuck up on a group of enemies, stabbed one in the back with my Halo-esque godlike ability sword, used magic to trap the others in place, then a cast of a fire flamethrower ability to deal big damage, and then finished them off with a high attack speed wand. It was truly epic. What I appreciate most about this combat is that there is just good old-fashioned player choice for gear and abilities, and smooth movement and animations to spike your dopamine levels. It's easy to learn and rewards you when you find your flow. Alright, moving on to the narrative side of things. Avowed delivers and then some. Each dialogue scene is patient and provides many choices to respond with, some of which are uniquely tied to the attribute points you choose. Better yet, the writing is passionate and features lighter responses through jokes and sarcasm. And so far, the voice acting has been great. Your first companion, Kai, is actually voice acted by Brandon Keener, well known for his performance as Garrus in the series Mass Effect. And the story. Oh, the story has me hooked, you guys, with its mystery right from the start. Now, of course, no spoilers here, being that I don't even know them yet myself, but what we do know is this. You are God-touched, serving as a prominent member in the court of Adir, the world's most powerful empire, and you have arrived to the Living Lands to investigate the mysterious plague that is the Dream Scourge. Right from the start, you begin to hear a voice in your head that seems to imply you as the player are playing more as a soul than you are a physical being. And through your journey, you will not only discover which god you were touched by at birth, but through a learned connection with the Living Lands itself, choose whether or not to protect it from the Dream Scourge, embrace the power of it, or put an end to it. Being that there are so many simple, traditional RPG choices made in developing Avowed, it stands to reason that the story is an important element and a driving force for player engagement. I personally launched this game assuming that the combat and exploration would be why I came back to it, but I can now say the story and narrative choice has me most excited. Avowed is a fantasy action RPG that doesn't try to use flashy design to intrigue players. Instead, it looks back on simple but great RPG design of the past. From afar, Avowed looks like a fun experience, not a great one, but in my short time with it, I see the potential for it to become great through the discovery of its narrative, design, and fascinating world. Obsidian Entertainment's approach to this game seems uninfluenced by the publisher Microsoft Game Studios, allowing for the developer to ignore some modern trends and focus on what they know they are best at. Being that this is the developer's first AAA release, I think the product delivered here is an example that reinventing the wheel in the RPG genre does not guarantee better experiences. As a genre with so much history, Avowed shows that while traditional RPG elements in a modern day game is the foundation for great experiences, the player roleplay and story is what really matters in order to deliver a memorable one. So to go back to the question we asked at the beginning of this video, is Avowed fun? My answer is a resounding yes. All right, you guys, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, I want to throw it to you guys. Have you played Avowed, and what do you think of it so far? Or are you somebody who's looking to see whether or not this might be a game for you? Let me know how you're feeling about the game, whether you've played or just simply interested in the game. And if you have any questions as someone who has yet to play yet, be sure to leave those thoughts in the comments down below. And while you're here, do me a favor. Remember to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time you find people on the internet, I'll see you soon. Peace.